Welcome to this session of product design and value engineering. In today's session, we will discuss about material selection process. What are different materials that are suitable for your product? Which material should be best for your product? What material you should select? Which will be more cheaper but will have competitive product advantage. All these questions will be discussed in this session. Let us start with material selection process. Now, what are the criteria for selecting materials? So, materials are selected on these four general criteria. One is performance characteristics. Also, we call them as properties. It can be either mechanical properties or electrical properties or thermal properties or optical properties. For example, if you are talking about a material which requires some strength, suppose you are manufacturing a table and you are selecting a material for the top of the table. So you will consider its strength also, and the strength is a mechanical property. If you are selecting a material for a mirror, then you will consider its opacity and reflectivity. Those are its optical properties. If you are selecting a material for a conducting wire, then conduction is an electrical property. And if you are selecting material for some heat exchanger, then you will be more concerned about its thermal property and electrothermal properties or mechanical thermal properties. That is thermal induced stresses. So those are mechanical and thermal properties that you are focusing on. So this very basic criteria is performance criteria, properties which directly affects the performance of the material. If these properties are not as per your requirement, then your performance will not be as good as should have been. For example, if you select a material for a heat exchanger which is not a good conductor, then your performance will not be as good as compared to a material which is a better conductor. So that's why these properties are called performance characteristics. And then we also consider processing characteristics or manufacturing characteristics. Basically, we consider manufacturability of the material. Suppose I find a material which is a very good candidate for a performance characteristics. Let's take an example that I want to manufacture a table which has 4 legs. Now, for this leg, I can use stainless steel, I can use cast iron, and I can use titanium alloy. Now, if I compare those three, then titanium alloy are the strongest, but they are very difficult to manufacture as well. So, instead of just focusing on performance, we are also saying that can we easily manufacture those materials? Can we easily manufacture with those materials with the required surface finish and required features that we want as well? This is very important. What features or what shape do we need to acquire from the product? For example, if you are considering cast iron as a material for a product and your product does not have very complex features, then it is a good candidate considered manufacturing characteristics. But if your product is a highly complex product which have very complex features, then cast iron may not be a suitable option because casting those small details into a product is a difficult task. So, you do not focus just on performance characteristics. You also think about how you will manufacture the product as well. Also, you should consider the environmental profile of the material. Simply take an example of plastic versus metal. So, given that plastic is a cheaper material, it might have some good manufacturability, but its environmental profile is very less advantageous compared to metals. Why? Because metal can be easily recycled, they can be easily extracted from the earth, and you do not have to dispose them. While as disposal of plastic is a very big concern, and the processing recycling is also big concern because it is a very much energy consuming, as well as recycling also affects the environment very badly. So you also consider the environmental profile of the material. And last, you also consider business aspect. That is how much costly the material is, where the material can be found. Is the material available in my nearby area or not? All this will be considered in this business considerations. Now let us quickly recap what we have discussed in this four characteristics. First of all, performance characteristics. So, as we have discussed, it develops upon function to be performed. Materials is hard or soft, conductor or insulator, heavy or lightweight, tough or brittle, elastic or plastic, and there are so many comparisons we can do. For example, if you are manufacturing this kind of corrugated sheet, you can either opt for a transparent FRP material or a transparent plastic material. You can go for stainless steel or galvanized iron material. Now, if we compare both these, then the plastic sheet will be low weight. They will have good opacity, and they are good thermal insulators. But the stainless steel will have high strength and longer life. But plastics are not subjected to corrosions. They are not affected by the weather conditions, where steels will be affected by weather conditions. Steel also is a conductor of electricity and heat. So there are chances that this will give a undesirable effect to you. That depends on your use. The second is manufacturing characteristics. As we have discussed, we consider what type of manufacturing processes we are deploying, which method we are using to manufacture the material, how easy it is to manufacture, how quickly we can manufacture is, do we have available technology to manufacture a material or manufacture the specific shape from that specific material, which tools will be required, etc., etc. All this will be considered in manufacturing characteristics. The environmental profile, as we have discussed, we can think about its reusability. For example, if we are talking about a plastic bottle or a glass bottle, then glass bottle may seem a costly option, but glass bottles are reusable. We have to recycle the plastic bottles. Normally, people do not use the same plastic bottles without recycling. But we can say that in cases of cold drinks, our bottles are recycled, glass bottles are recycled very rapidly, whether plastic bottles are disposed or thrown away in the garbage. If the material is disposable, is it recyclable, or does the material harm environment in any way? For example, radioactive material for nuclear power plant as a material for its fuel. It harms the environment, or its disposal is very difficult. So we should consider those also. The carbon footprint is the amount of carbon dioxide that will be there in the environment due to the use of a particular material, from its manufacturing, from its extraction to manufacturing to disposal, all these life cycle considered, and so many other things we consider in the environmental profile. And in the last, in business consideration, we think about cost of raw materials. Is the material available or not in the nearby area? The manufacturing cost, how much cost will be required in the manufacturing? Do we have available equipment or processes or not? Or do we need to purchase some extra equipment to make the production possible? How much cost will be there for disposal? All these will be, and many other criteria will be considered in the business considerations. Now, how to select those materials? So there are a simple process of selecting the material. First, we analyze the requirements of the material, how to analyze from the specifications that are given to us. Then we screen for the candidate materials, which materials are available, which are our options. Then we analyze these candidate materials, we build up some matrix or compare those materials, and then we develop the design data. We select the best material from there and we give those properties to our design data and we go forward. Now, what type of analysis will be required in material requirement? So, we consider operating conditions, working conditions, service of the material, life of the material. Is there any special requirements like the material should be transparent or material should be opaque specifically or material should have some hardness? We also consider all this and we convert these requirements into the desirable property. Now, how to screen for these candidate materials? So, we have lots of material data of lots of material with us, and we select few materials which have desired mechanical or desired material properties in general. Materials properties can be found in material property catalogs. There are many databases which have those materials categories. For example, for metal, there is ASME Engineering Material Handbook, Volume 1 and 2. Actually, ASME Material Handbook has many volumes. It has volume up to 24 or 25, I think. But Volume 1 and 2 specifically deals with metals. And SAE Handbook Part 1, which also deals with the different types of metals. Ceramic, for ceramic, we have material handling, ASME Material Handling, ASME Material Handbook Volume 4. And for polymer, we have ASME Material Handbook Volume 2 and 3. For composites, we have ASME Material Handbook Volume 21. And we also have some internet sources, online sources, as many of these databases have moved to online. There are two mainly referred sites. One is matdata.net and the another one is matweb.com. These sites also gives you a comprehensive list of materials which are there with their properties which we require. Now, how to analyze our candidate materials? So, for that there are some methods available which we can use. We can analyze this based on the performance of product that are required or the reliability of material, safety criteria, and there are many criteria. But how to analyze is more important. Now, how to develop this design data? So we take simply properties of the material and we give them to design product according to these properties. So we have some strength requirements and we design according to the strength of our material available. That is very simple process. You all know how to design based on the properties given. Simply we are finalizing our property and according to the property we are designing our product. So we calculate dimensions and other properties and we give it to the team, respective team. So this will be all for material selection processes. There are, as I have told, there are many matrices or many methods to select or compare the different materials that we will see, that we will learn in the next session. For now, this will be all. Thank you.